Hello and welcome. In today's episode, we'll see how much silver we can make by gathering low-tier hide and refining it into leather. Before we head out, let's take a quick look at what I'm bringing with me. First, a Tier 8 ox, giving me over 3,200 kilograms of carrying capacity. A Tier 8 Avalonian knife for extra gathering yield. And Tier 2 journals to boost our profit even more. For my weapon, I'll be using a 4.3 longbow. We'll be gathering in zones close to Bridgewatch, focusing on Tier 2, Tier 3, and Tier 4 hide. After 2 hours of gathering, we'll head to Martlock, which has a bonus for refining hide into leather. At the end, we'll do a full summary, so it's worth staying until the end. That's all for now. Let's jump into today's episode. In this episode, we'll be refining Tier 2 and Tier 3 hide. Some of you might be wondering why we're gathering in zones that also have Tier 4. This is a good moment to talk about a few things that can really boost our profit. When gathering in zones with only Tier 2 and Tier 3, we don't have a chance to get some valuable drops. So why is it worth gathering Tier 4 as well? First, there's a chance to get a skinning tome, which can be worth up to 100,000 silver. It drops randomly while gathering hide. Second, there's a chance to find enchanted hide along the way, like 4.2 or 4.3 if luck is on your side. Third, gathering Tier 4 hides fills our journals much faster. If we're lucky, we can complete one Tier 2 journal with just a single node. Collecting only Tier 2 and Tier 3 hides would take much more time to fill the journals. There's also the chance to get a baby animal drop. As you'll see in this episode, we got lucky and it boosted our profit nicely. Just like with the skinning tome, the drop chance is random. The last thing, and the most obvious, is the value of the Tier 4 raw material. To sum up, I'm convinced that gathering Tier 4 is definitely more profitable. If you want, we could do a test comparing both methods. Let me know in the comments. Okay, let's get back to gathering. No time to waste. 2 hours are done, and now we're heading to Martlock to refine and summarize the results of our test. Alright, we've reached our destination. The trip to Martlock took about 7 minutes. First, let's put all our loot into the chest and check its estimated value. We won't just depend on these estimates. Instead, we'll calculate our own numbers based on current market prices in Martlock. It looks like the total value of our loot is around 2,190,000 silver. Alright, let's take everything out of our chest and check the current market prices. Since we won't be refining Tier 4, let's first set the amounts that won't change, which are 4.2, 4.1, 4.0, baby stags. Journals. Here the situation looks a bit different. 5,000 per journal is way too high. Let's assume 2,000 per journal instead, which is more realistic. To get a full picture of the value of our items, let's also include Tier 3 and Tier 2. All of these amounts are already after tax. If we add everything together, instead of the initially estimated 2,190,000, the total value comes out to 2,850,000 silver. We could stop here and make a good amount of silver in just 2 hours, but let's see if we can profit from refining hide into leather. It's worth noting that it's not always profitable, but more on that later. For now, let's grab the necessary materials and get to work. So we're looking for the best spot, ideally close by and with the lowest prices. As I mentioned earlier, refining isn't always profitable. That's partly true. It depends on the current market prices. In the best case, we can wait for a bonus on refining hide, which we could take advantage of. Because in that moment, many players want to refine their own hide, which drives up the price for the leather. We could also transport our leather to other cities, like Limhurst, where there's a bonus for crafting leather helmets and boots, or to Fort Sterling, where the bonus applies to armor. The prices for leather there are higher, letting us earn more. but it comes with the cost of transporting the materials. In this episode, we won't be handling further transport. We'll stay in Martlock. Let's check if we manage to make a profit. Before we do the final summary, I noticed that the prices for Tier 2 leather are pretty good, so I decided to refine the remaining Tier 2 hide we had left in the chest. Now, let's get back to our summary. We convert Tier 2 hide into Tier 2 leather, and Tier 3 hide into Tier 3 leather. So it turns out that after refining the resources, our profit dropped from 2,850,000 to 2,700,000 silver. There's no reason to worry though. We'll wait until Tier 3 leather prices go up and sell it then. The best moment will be during the daily refining bonus event, when demand increases, and with it, the price of Tier 3 leather. But that's not the end. We also need to remember about the expenses: empty journals, pork pies, refining costs, and the biggest one, repairs, which cost 111,000 silver. Altogether, this run cost us 220,000 silver, which we need to subtract from our earlier earnings. That leaves us with 2,480,000 silver in pure profit. Broken down per hour, that's about 1,240,000 silver per hour. And honestly, that's a very solid result, especially considering no premium and zero risk. We could have squeezed out an extra 100,000, 200,000, or even 300,000 silver by transporting our leather to another city and waiting for the right daily bonus to sell both leather and Tier 4 hide at higher prices. I think almost 2.5 million silver in just over 2 hours is a solid result. What do you think about refining? Do you want to see more episodes like this? Let me know in the comments. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.